Your daily Bitcoin and Litecoin update. Have we confirmed the breakout of the Adam and Eve? What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. I hope everybody's having a fabulous Sunday, and I hope you had a great weekend. We're going to take a look at the charts, starting off with Litecoin, moving on to Bitcoin. Then we're going to take a look at my favorite chart comparison, which we've been following on this channel since January, which is the Bitcoin daily chart versus the gold weekly chart, and show you where I believe we're headed, which is 46,000 by the end of the year. Definitely stick around to the end to check that out, especially if you haven't seen it already. The chart's playing out beautifully. We have been following it since January, so definitely stick around for that. Also, there's a free Discord link in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's an awesome crypto community, the best in crypto, bar none, I believe. If you love crypto, you'll love the Discord. Definitely check it out. Great group of people in there. Also, there's some other links down there that really help the channel out, guys, and help me continue to give you this free content. There's some affiliate links down there, some exchange links, Bybit, Prime XBT, KRAKEN, and some other ones. There's Brave Browser, Ledger Link. Check them out. If you can use them, it really helps the channel out. If not, that's okay too. But yeah, let's look at the chart, see what's going on. All right, guys, as always, I want to start out by saying I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is my opinion and my view of the market only. Anybody that's doing any trading or investing in this market, I suggest you do your own due diligence and your own research, as this market is extremely volatile and risky. Also, keep in mind, it's still a speculative market, so don't put in more than you're willing to lose. With that being said, if you're new here or you haven't already, definitely hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand side of the screen. That'll get you subscribed to the channel, as I do daily updates every day. And it'll keep you updated. Tick the notification bell. That'll get you notified whenever I post new videos. And smash the likes. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. I love to read your guys' comments and see what you think's going on in the market. All right, we're looking at Litecoin on the weekly. We've been making higher lows in the RSI in the price action. Lower lows in the, higher lows in the price action. Lower lows in the RSI, which is hidden bullish divergence on the weekly, guys. So that's a damn good sign. I do believe we have some upward momentum coming. Now we're going to take a look at the daily. I'm going to take a look at the price action first and what we've been watching. I am still looking at this as a cup, and this being a handle forming here with a neckline of 146. And if we break above that, I do believe that we are on our way to 271, which is my longer term target. My end of the year target's much higher than that, as long as Bitcoin does hit its $46,000 target, which we will be taking a look at. But I do want to point out that it's not going to be like we go straight up, guys. There's going to be obviously resistance along the way. And most of the time when we break a cup and handle, we'll get up, come back down, retest it, just like we did in the Adam and Eve in Bitcoin. So let's look at the RSI on the daily. And if you guys have been following along, you know we were watching this rising channel since back here in December, and we fell out of it into a falling channel. The most recent thing we've been watching is this falling broadening wedge, which we broke out of here. And we've been talking about coming back and testing the top trend line on that for support, and we got it, and I believe we're headed up from here. But let's look at, I know everybody is super bearish on Litecoin. I don't know why, but oh well. Let's look at the 4 hour. All right, looking at the 4 hour RSI. Like I said, if you've been following the channel, or following my channel, we've been following this falling channel. And if you're wondering what all this stuff is, go back into previous videos, guys. It'll really help you learn a lot about charting. But as of now, looks like we're in this falling channel here, moving up to most likely test the top of this, and we'll see if it breaks and we test this again. But let's look at the price action. Everything's still looking good, guys. All right, we'll take a look at the bearish case scenario first, then we'll take a look at the bullish case. So on the bearish case, I did move this blue line just a little bit. I realized I didn't have them on these wicks right, and now it is, but I did have this as the low, 83.51, which we went down to 81.55, I think it was. So I'm going to get that out of the way now. I do believe this blue line is going to hold, but we have talked about it. Let me put another target in there, and we'll just put it at the up in here. If we're to break this, and this is going to be the bearish case scenario, guys, which I don't believe is going to happen, but we have to take a look at it both ways. It is crypto market. Crazier things have happened. But if this was to break, my worst case scenario is still this $62 to $63 range, which is the long-term trend line from when we bottomed out in December. It also is old resistance here that should become new support. Again, guys, that's the bearish case scenario, which I don't believe is happening. I think we're still bullish here. And I love all the fear in the market. Just makes me more bullish. So anyways, looking at this, this could play out. I'm going to kind of show you, and this is just an assumption. Something like this, guys, we might play around in here for a little while before breaking. But my measured move out of this is right here. Looking at this as a ascending triangle. Whoops. And the breakout of that getting us to around the 137 range. Now I also have a higher target in there around that 172, and that's looking at this as a falling wedge. And if we were to break out up in here, you know, within the next day or two, my target of that, and that doesn't mean we get there in a day or two, but just the target, and that's around the 172 range, and that's the measured move out of this falling wedge. So that's where I'm at with Litecoin. I definitely believe we're going to continue up from here, guys. Let's look at Bitcoin. So looking at Bitcoin on the weekly, zoom in a little bit, and we have the same thing. We're having higher lows in the price action, lower lows in the RSI. That was hidden bullish divergence, guys. I see us going up from here, definitely. I also want to point out these two areas. This is back in 2015. And if you look at this area right here, I believe that's where we're at right here. Pretty much the same thing. I don't believe in looking at the old bull runs and looking at the price action as much as I do the RSI. The RSI is just true. And that's why I don't use a lot of crazy indicators. I don't believe in other indicators. All I believe in is all you really need is the RSI. I use some EMAs, support and resistance, trend lines, some Fibonacci. But really, in my opinion, that's all you need, guys, to accurately read the charts. So anyways, if you see the resemblance right here, this looks a lot like this area over here. And what it looks like is happening is, you know, we could get, and it's not going to play out exactly. This is just giving us an idea. But we could be looking at another 2 years in this bull cycle. So yeah, it's just, I believe we are definitely still in a parabolic bull run, and it's really going to be taking off soon towards the end of this year, guys. So be prepared. I do believe that's going to happen. Now I'm going to look at real quick this big bull flag here that we have formed, and I do believe that this is going to play out. So and again, stick around to the end, and I'll show you why I believe we'll hit 46,000 by the end of the year. One other thing I want to show you in Bitcoin. People were talking about, well, I'll show you right after this. So anyways, the measured move off this would be measuring this as a bull flag, and that would get us out to around the $21,000 to $22,000 range here, which would break our all-time high and probably come back down, test this. Once we break this line of resistance, we would test it for support and continue up to our new all-time highs, I believe, in my opinion. So let's look at the daily. Something I want to point out, people had said, you know, you said it was going to the moon, blah, 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 blah. But if you look at, I'm going to play this for you real quick. This was a video from a week ago, and I explained this in the 4 hour, and we're going to take a look at that. But I just want you to watch this and look at what has happened here in the last day. So here you go. Those targets were a little low. So there you have it. That's what I was coming up with, and that's pretty much exactly what's happened. So let's look at the daily real quick, and then we'll go into the 4-hour and look at that what's going on from what I showed you in that video. This is also something we've been watching here. I'm gonna get all this stuff out of the way so we can see what's going on here. Now, what I've been watching here, guys, is inverse head and shoulders here on the RSI. Then another inverse head and shoulders here. Another one here forming, and I do believe we are headed up from here. And if you look at the, let me get that off the screen there. If you look at the RSI here, we're making lower lows in the RSI. And look at the price action. Higher lows in the price action. You can see the hidden bullish divergence all the way through here, right? Also have this trend line put in here that I believe is the trend change line, which if you look at where we crossed it around the 65.50, and that was resistance back here in the bear market also. But once we broke that, we came back down, tested it twice. I don't believe we're gonna break back down through this. So anyways, this top trend line on the RSI had helped us call the tops on each one of these runs right here, and right here, which was the 13. We were calling 13.8, or we were calling 13.6, and we got to 13.8 on that one. But again, I do believe we're going to be heading up and retesting that again, like I just showed you in the RSI. I'm going to take a look at the price action real quick and look at our targets here. All right, so measuring this bull flag, if we just looked at it as a falling channel, the measurement of that would be right here. And depending on where we break out, guys, but it's looking around that 16,200, 16,300 range. The next measured move would be measuring this as the flagpole, and this is the flag. And that measured move gets us up to about 18,500. I do have the other one here that we looked at in the other chart, which gets us up to that $22,000 range. I will put a target on there, right there. So that's what I'm looking at for now, guys. I do also have another one in here. Looking at this trend line, if we were to break, you know, in this 16.2, 16.3 area, that measured move gets me up to about $28,000 range. So that's what I'm looking at, guys. Still extremely bullish, extremely bullish. And as you guys that watch the channel know, I'm not a day trader. I don't give a shit about the little moves. I do long-term swing trading, and I hold my physical coins. So let's look at the 4-hour. And first we'll take a look at the RSI. And as you can see, we've followed all these moves. And if you want to know what all this is and how to follow it, definitely check out the prior videos. But as of right now, we're in this falling wedge. I do believe we're going to break up and out of. And let's look at the price action. We'll take a look at the bearish case scenario first, guys. So bearish case scenario, we come back down this 11,000. I had this at 11,050. But those of you that follow my Discord, I had been calling the drop back down to this to test this Adam and Eve. Now, if we're to break down below this, The next point of support is going to be around that $10,700, $10,800 range, which would be the 200 EMA. And again, this is a bearish case scenario. I don't think it's going bearish here, but if it does, we're looking at $10,750, $10,800 for support. If that was to break, next line of support would be this trend line here, and that's around the $9,900 to $10,000 range. And actually, I'm going to move that up a little bit. So yeah, in between 9,900 and 10,000 range. And if that was to break, we'll move this one up now. It's going to be around the $9,600 range. And that would be retesting that trend line I showed you, which I believe to be the trend change line, where it all changed over here to confirm a bull market. But yeah, and if that doesn't hold, the absolute worst case scenario, which I know a lot of people are still looking for the gaps to be filled. I don't believe that the gaps will be filled nor have to be filled, but that would bring us down to the $8,500 to $8,600 range. That's the bearish case, guys. I believe in the bullish case, and I'm going to take a look at that now. So as you've seen in the video clip I just showed you, we had the Adam and Eve here, the break of it, and I was calling for a test back down to here. This could have been our test here at, what is it, 11,084. I did have longs in. If you follow my Discord, and I post my trades in there under, there's a trade room for open trades, and you can look in there for where I open trades, where I close trades. So anyways, I've had, since I made that video, I had some buys in for longs at 1100, and you can check the Discord for that. But anyways, as you know, the measured move of the break of the Adam and Eve is 13,000. I do believe we're still headed up there, and I believe this was confirmation of the break down here. Possible we could come back all the way back down to 11,000 or so, definitely. And if that breaks, we already looked at the bearish case. But if we did, I would expect a big bounce up here. Next, we're looking at this here as a big flagpole, this being a bull flag. And if you look at it, this could be, we could do something in this nature and continue up. So, but as we talked about with this triangle here, a lot of times there'll be a fake breakout. And in yesterday's video, I was talking about a bear trap, and that could be what this is, because people would have, if they went long here, they would have had a stop right below this wick, and this would be the stop hunt to get them and come back up. And I do believe that's exactly what happened there. And we talked about that in the last few videos. But yeah, after that, let's take a break out of this, and depending on where we break, guys, it all depends on where we break this top line. But my target's going to be up here around the 14.8, 14.9. But remember, the first target, the measured move, is off that Adam and Eve, which is 13,000. And what usually happens, just like we came out of the Adam and Eve, came down, retested the neckline, what usually happens here, we might go up to 13, then come retest the top of this flag before continuing on up to our higher targets. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Let's go to the Bitcoin daily versus the gold weekly and show you why I believe we're going to hit 46,000 by the end of the year. All right, looking at Bitcoin on the daily, and as you guys can see, we've been following this since January, which was right over here, guys, right down before it actually broke these trend lines, these two trend lines coming off the top. But as you can see, I have a dotted line coming from the all-time high to right before we broke down at 6,000 across. And I did the same thing from the second peak all the way across. This blue line here was old support in the bear market till we broke down and capitulated back here. This white line is old support in the bear market also coming across here. Now keep all this in mind, because we are going to clip over to the gold weekly chart and see how a pattern is a pattern. Show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. I still believe there's some huge news coming, guys. But anyways, and we had two touches on this bottom long-term trend line before breaking out here and breaking the blue trend line. And we hovered around the white trend line, and I had said, I believe this trend line is going to hold. I don't see us going below it ever again, guys. All right, I'm going to click back and forth so you can see the resemblance and you can see the pattern. And remember, a pattern is a pattern, guys. Look at the resemblance. Everything's lining up, matching beautifully. As you can see on the gold, I have this blue line here. And when we got up there, tested it, came back down, retested, almost retested this white trend line, which we'll zoom into gold or Bitcoin and look at that. But it came back down, then we blew through. But right in here is where I still believe we're at in Bitcoin. And let's click back over. I have the blue line here also. It's someone pointed out a couple days ago in a live stream that this could be a cup and a handle forming, which is definitely possible. And the neckline would be around the 13,900 range. And if we were to break up, that coincides with this blue line here, which we had one in gold also. So definitely getting very interesting, guys. Just more and more stuff starting to play out. But like I said, as you can see, we had the 2 touches on this bottom line before breaking through this wedge and continuing on up. If you remember, in the last few videos, I've been saying this trend line is going to hold. I don't think we'll ever go below it again. And it's looking extremely good, guys. We've got some huge moves coming, period. I don't care what all the haters say, whatnot. This is happening. If you've been following the channel, we've been pretty dead on all year, guys. So I do not believe this trend line here is ever going to break again. So, yeah, take it for what you will. This is just my opinion. Everybody should do their own due diligence and their own research. But now we're going to look at the RSI in the weekly in Bitcoin. Oh, yeah, I did want to show you, too, on gold. Same thing as in Bitcoin. I had 2 touches on this bottom trend line before breaking through that wedge. This is just beautiful, guys. Yeah, beautiful. That's all I can say. Anyways, 2013 bull market followed by the bear market. I have this trend line here. 2 touches of resistance before breaking through, starting the next bull market. 2017 bull market followed by the bear market. Same trend line, guys. 2 touches of resistance before starting the bull market. And as I pointed out before, these 2 areas right here, the resemblance is amazing. And like I said, we're probably going to get something like this and another couple year bull run, man. This thing's playing out beautifully, guys. Anybody that's been following the channel probably hasn't been getting as fearful as most people. Most people just don't understand what's going on. I think this is a huge opportunity, life-changing opportunity if you guys play this right. So looking at these 2 arcs here in the weekly RSI, 2013 bull market, 2017 bull market. We went from the 2013 bull market followed by the bear market, each arrow representing a new low in the RSI. There was 4 of them before the bull market started. 2017 bull market followed by the bear market. 4 lows in the RSI before the bull market started. Absolutely amazing, guys. Anyways, thanks for stopping in. If you enjoyed the content, definitely subscribe by clicking the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. Smash the likes, leave your comments, let me know what you think, guys. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos, as I may do a live stream tonight. So I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thanks for stopping by, and I'm out of here. Bye.